Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Sorry I haven't been able to really post much. I haven't been able to find that many interesting things in DeFi to talk about, except for bad things. And I want to try to keep things on a positive note. So I hope everyone's okay. I know that a lot of CeFi, centralized finance platforms like Celsius, Voyager, BlockFi, I believe most of them are in financial trouble. So hopefully you don't have too much money on those platforms. But anyway, well, unfortunately, we're still in a downtrend. So I want to maybe help uh, some folks out with some ideas on what to do. Um, I was already preparing for a crypto winter, but I didn't expect it to be this brutal. And I think it's just beginning. We still have some ways to go. So I thought it might be a good idea to talk about like a way to hedge major assets like Ethereum. So unfortunately, it hasn't worked out as a inflation hedge, but we still need to find ways to get paid no matter what. Um, and hopefully, this will generate some cash so that we can reinvest later. So I've talked about ways to maybe not financial advice, of course, but like maybe ways to maybe soften the blow a little bit. So try to stack up some USD or other stable coins, while the major assets like BTC, Ethereum, Solana prices are down. So I've talked about GMX before, but I've talked about it in a way so that like it's more of like a more passive way. But don't forget, like GMX, you can also trade perpetual swaps, which are kind of like I guess like DeFi's version of like futures trading. Except the good thing is you don't have to keep rolling your futures, as long as like you have enough capital on the platform, you can keep your perpetual swaps indefinitely. As long as like obviously the market is moving in your favor. So I want to talk about it in terms of hedging whatever Ethereum that you do have. Um, but like since I'm learning more about the platform, because there are some potential um, positive catalysts. So like I guess like when they add to the platform, I'll cover like the new different features. But there are some like good things that you could do with GMX. I guess like you can kind of just like if you're confident in your skills as a day trader, you could, in theory, leverage trade. But I personally don't do it just because I'm not savvy enough to do it, especially on a with products on DeFi. I'm still trying to like uh, figure it out because I'm used to more of a like the kind of like the TradFi method of doing things. Like for example, with a my main brokerage is Tastyworks. And you can also trade. So I'm used to like trading futures that way. So perpetual swaps are still somewhat new to me, but it's pretty interesting because you don't have a like a central I guess like a kind of like a clearinghouse. I guess like GMX is sort of like the clearinghouse, and the way it works is that you're trading against basically like other traders. That's where like the GLP because it's a basket of assets that you can put in for staking. But it's not like a right now it's not that good for like big traders because you're limited to like whatever is inside the pool. So you have to be careful with that. Um, but I guess like for people with like smaller balances, like for example for me, GMX is on Arbitrum. So it's kind of limited to Ethereum users at the moment. And also actually, I believe they are also they are on Avalanche. So if you're big fan of Avalanche, you can also trade there as well. Um, so right now, like it's kind of tough to like short at like these levels. They've already, Ethereum's already been battered down. So I would like to short at higher levels. So I'm thinking maybe like there could be a potential bounce to maybe 1800 or maybe even 2000 if we're lucky would be better. Um, so I'm keeping my short selling size small, and I kind of want to also help break down some of the sample gas costs it costs to hedge using GMX. So first you have to enable leverage. You don't have to use like what's the leverage that's available. But you do have to enable it in order to proceed. For me, it costs about 70 cents, and it was like at the time of that transaction was like 1.15 Quay, which is pretty cheap. Um, and like then you have to also approve like a wrapped ETH. That was 79 cents, and then the actual ETH short itself cost a dollar four. So like it's not like the cheapest. They still haven't enabled Arbitrum Nitro, so it'll be interesting to see how much it costs like whenever that comes out. So right now it's like cost all in to do a trade. Cost me about $2.50, um, which is okay because I'm still learning. So I'd rather like lose $2.50 rather than like much more than that. Um, and then there are risks to the platform. Like I mentioned earlier, like the fees. I mean, they're not too expensive, but they're not like really that cheap either. So I want to see like what the Arbitrum Nitro upgrade will do, in terms of like making it even more affordable, so that like more people can kind of like um, save some money. And then like recently they had an Arbitrum Odyssey program, where they're trying to incentivize like people to come into the ecosystem by offering like free NFTs. But unfortunately, that's been paused. So you can wait until like Arbitrum Odyssey restarts and then maybe try to like practice hedging with GMX. And then there's also a chance that like you might overhedge, so that's why you want to watch your leverage. And then there was also like a short like half an hour outage on June 28th. That was when like Arbitrum Odyssey was still happening, and I guess a lot of people were using the platform. So just be careful of that. Um, Obviously lessons learned, like don't bet too big. And then earnings are diving in a bear market. So if you also want to like kind of like jump in, wait for bear market rallies to short, and then usually there's usually the usual caveats. There's always contract risk, and then gas fees can spike even on L2s like Arbitrum. None of this is financial tax advice. This is DeFi, and there are no refunds. And you know, unfortunately, crypto can collapse super quickly. Um, if you like this type of information, please consider liking and subscribing. That would really help me out. And then I just want to like kind of like go back to the screen real quick. Um, you can do as low as like a $10 trade. And then also like if you notice on the leverage slider on the right hand side over here, like where I'm kind of like circling around, um, like I went down all the way down to like 1.1x leverage, which is like which isn't very much because that's all I'm comfortable doing at the moment. But then as I get more comfort and as like more like better opportunities show up, like I would like to like increase like my leverage like slightly, so it's more like I'm hedging more of my ETH. And then also one of the cool thing is when you're doing these trades, there's like there's a few options that you can pick in terms of like how you want to pay for like your trade. If you feel more comfortable using USDC, you could also do that as well. Um, and then let's see, what else did I want to tell you guys? Um, I think that's about it. I guess like when you're whatever you're practicing, try to like go down to like. Well, actually, I shouldn't tell you you what you guys should do. I guess like I would feel more comfortable using like the lowest amount of leverage, especially on your first couple of trades, just to get used to the platform first. Um, and then like the cool thing about GMX, like I like their interface, like as you can see, like I already have like a really small position, so I can keep track of like in the future I do plan to make multiple trades. So then like for example, I, you're seeing like my first trade here, it was like at 1.1 x short, and then as I put on like more shorts, like I'll probably play around with like the leverage factors just to see how much um, things are. Like for example, like how much more collateral it'll cost me, and then seeing things like for example my liquidation price at each of my different shorts. So like it's I think it's like a pretty convenient platform, and supposedly there are more features like that's gonna be added, and then I'll be happy to share them when they come out. Um, So yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know there are ways to like make money while the our markets are going down. Um, so like I'm waiting for like bear market rallies to come up so this way like I can get like a better entry price. Obviously there is a risk that like I could get run over the other way, like where for example like the ETH merge, there could be that could be like a really good news. Like it's supposed to happen like maybe like around September or maybe even Q4 of this year. But we'll see. Because I'm thinking that maybe like if there's like a delay, that might cause like prices to drop. So that could be like a good entry point too. Like before like the merge happens, try to throw in like small like shorts here and there, just to protect my Ethereum. Because I think in the future Ethereum should have a bright future. Like even if there are delays, I'm just hoping there isn't like a major hiccup with the merge. But anyway, that's all I wanted to kind of share with you. Again, if you can consider liking and subscribing, that'd be great. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you now. Bye bye.